What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with reactions to the classics. And today we got a reaction to Neil Young, a song battle. His songs, Eldorado versus No More, brought to us by friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, Joseph, otherwise known as JSB, has his own YouTube channel, Acting as Reacting. Highly entertaining, highly informative. I'm going to put a link to it down below. You got to go subscribe to it. All right, it's been a while since we've had Neil up, and here's what Joseph has to say about it. He said, time to welcome Uncle Neil back to Spotify, which makes things easier, right? By highlighting two of my favorite cuts from the best album of his, I believe you haven't previously hit, or at least reviewed, because I have tons of Neil Young up, right? Trey and I have done tons of it over the years, just looking at the Neil Young playlist. 1989's Freedom, best known, of course, for two versions of Rockin' in the Free World, which kind of brought Neil back, but it has so much more to offer. Personal context on this one, Joseph says, is in April 1989, I saw him still for the only time to date as my second gig ever. We then spent a month stateside over May and June as my mom's aunt was living in Fort Lauderdale. I guess I may have mentioned the gig once or twice, as that Christmas she sent me cassettes of both Freedom and Harvest. Harvest is obviously great, but Freedom has always resonated more strongly with me. And at the time, I had no idea that Neil's previous 80s output had been so, let's be extremely polite and say spotty. So I guess I was lucky to see him just as he was staging his critical and commercial comeback. If you don't know the story of the 80s, he was tied into a record contract, so he couldn't get out of it. So to protest it, he put out horrible music. The record company ended up suing him, saying he wasn't trying. It's a long story, but if that interests you, just go down a Google trail and you'll find some interesting reading. Well, let's kick into the first track, Eldorado. It would first appear as Road of Plenty in concert in 1986. Young would rehearse the song with Buffalo Springfield during a brief attempt at a reunion that year. And I'll get into what the song's about after we listen to it, because I'm going to have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Joseph.
Gypsy sees the villa, the riders on the hill, the fire in the field. She sees the mission bell swinging in the silence. Now the shooting starts. The bullets pierce the hearts.
All right, Eldorado. What a fantastic song. What a fantastic tale. We have 4 different verses. See, we have fighting at a villa. Then we're going to have, as I look through the lyrics, some high stakes gambling in a hotel. We're going to have a drug deal inside a jet. And finally, a bullfight where you get the burst of cinematic experience in there. But you have all kinds. You got a little bit of a harmonica, but you got the castanets. That's what lends that just beautiful percussion in there, and the acoustic guitar and all kinds of things going on. So there's no chorus, as there often isn't in Neil's songs. But I will say this: I think there is a chorus because there's that same repetitive solo. It's a guitar solo, but those castanets in there to win that kind of environment after every verse. So that's the chorus because it's what you expect. You start expecting it to come. And so I think this song is just fantastic. Next up, we have No More. It wasn't commercially released as a single, but it did reach number 7 on the Billboard mainstream rock charts because on that chart, it doesn't have to be released as a single. It can just be played. The lyrics of the song address drug addiction. Neil Young biographer Brian Kreiser describes it as a sequel to The Needle and the Damage Done. However, No More does not specify which drug or drugs are being referenced. I've got a lot of other information. I guess I'll give it to you up front rather than after so you can kind of be listening for it. First verse is most explicitly about drugs. It describes how difficult it is to get free of drugs once addicted, and recovered addict who is now finally free sings No More. Writer Ken Byland describes the second verse as an attempt by the former addict to recover his muse and creativity now that he doesn't have drugs to fall back on. The third and last verse can be interpreted as about being drugs or about being music. Byland interprets it as being about the former addict being torn between a desire to do his best and a need to fill up an album's worth of songs. The music critic Johnny Rogan points out that the lines like searching for equality, having to do the very best can apply equally to the search for quality drugs as to the search for high quality songs. Neil himself has stated that he, quote, wasn't saying anything definitively and that it's completely ambiguous what's going on. So I give you all that because with a lot of singer-songwriters and really good ones, whether it's Dylan, Neil, the lyrics are open to interpretation. So let's see what we think. All right, No More. Great guitar work on there. I don't really have to tell you what the song's about because I already broke it down at the start. The third verse, I don't know either. Searching for quality, having to have the very best. Now scrounging for quantity, never having time to do the test. That's how the story goes. Can't put it down till the last page. I would venture more drugs, but I could definitely see how it could be about songwriting. In the outro, I can't put it down. I can't put it down. I can't put it down. I would say it's about drugs, but I could see it both ways. The arrangement on that song, I was kind of hit and miss on. So that's going to bring me to my favorite, which I probably just kind of sort of gave it away. No More was a bigger hit, if you want to call it that, on the mainstream rock charts, and I see why. But I think Eldorado is a fantastic song. Super enjoyed discovering that one. So that's going to be my winner. But let me know what you think down below. Also, let me know what you think of this album, Freedom. Where do you rank it in Neil's catalog? Thank you to JSB for bringing this one. Like I said, he's got a great YouTube channel. I'm going to link it down there below. Go subscribe to it. It's the road to get him to 100 subs. The hardest thing to do in YouTube, in the creative world, believe it or not, is get to 100 subs and then get to 1,000 subs. It's very difficult. So let's help him out. And until next time, guys, I will see you.